When I say distance running, what do most people think of? Well, most people think of pain and soreness. Well, if you're a distance runner like me, we think of knee pain. That's a big issue. A lot of people are wearing the wrong shoes that causes this knee pain, and it's pretty hard to run a long time, not just distance, but years into the future, into older years, running if you don't have the right shoes set up. Now, most people know that you don't wear different sports shoes for running. Like, you don't wear a basketball shoe or a walking shoe. They're just not designed for running. They won't stand up to the impact of running. Finding the right shoe is the key to long-term running. Hi, my name is Steve, and I've been an avid runner for all of my life. It's a great way to stay in shape, to lose weight. It's a super great cardiovascular exercise. Distance running is great. I'm here to talk to you today about a problem, though, with distance running shoes, and we're going to talk a little bit about the problem. We're going to talk about how to tell the difference between different shoes, and we're going to talk about how you can tell what kind of shoes you need to fit your feet and your running style. First, let's talk a little bit about the problem with running shoes. Well, the main problem with running shoes is they don't fit your feet's pronation. I know a lot of you say that that's a word I just made up, like Bush would do. Basically, what pronation is when your heel hits the ground, your foot rotates inward approximately 15 degrees. That's a normal pronation, or a neutral pronation. If you over-rotate to the inside, that's over-pronation. If you rotate to the outside or not enough, that's under-pronation. And basically, pronation helps your body absorb the pressures of running on your leg and your ankles and your joints. So it's your body's way of dealing with that. Even if you have the most expensive shoe, if it's the wrong kind for your feet, it's going to lead to knee problems. You may not even feel it right then, but you'll feel it in the future, especially after months or years of running. Well, that's a little bit about that. I'm going to talk to you about how you tell which shoe, what to do about this problem. You certainly can't get new feet. So I'm going to tell you, most quality shoe stores or shoe manufacturers have different shoes to fit your pronation. And there's an easy way to check. Most people look at the shoe and they just see the color or the style and they like it. But here's this gray. And most people think that's part of the sole pattern. It's just color. Here it's white, here it's gray. Well, this gray part is known as high density foam, where this outside is normal density or low density foam. And basically what this does, because this is my running shoe, I over-pronate. When your foot hits the ground, it should rotate 15 degrees, but mine over-rotates, so this high density foam doesn't collapse as much. It forces the shoe back to a neutral position or a normal pronate, which in turn aligns my ankles and my knees, so I'm running correctly. Here's a good example of a normal or neutral pronation shoe. No high density foam on either side. This is my wife's shoe. Mechanically, she's working correctly. If it had high density foam on the outside, it would handle under pronation, all forcing your foot back to a neutral position so you run correctly and it aligns your knees and your ankles and you absorb the shock of running correctly. Now that's a little bit about that. I'm going to talk to you how do you know which shoe you need, which one is right for your feet. Here's the best way to do it. There's a lot of different ways, but here's the best way. Go to a good shoe store, an athletic shoe store, not one of those shoe stores in the mall. Those guys are salesmen. They want to sell you a shoe. They want to sell you an expensive shoe, but that doesn't mean it's right for you. They don't understand a lot about the mechanics of running. A good sports store understands that. And here's what they'll do. They'll wet your foot, they'll stick a footprint on a piece of paper, they can look at your pattern, how your foot presses on the paper, and tell a little bit about your feet. They can watch how you walk away barefoot. They can even look at your old shoe. Now, if you've got worn out one side and not on the other, you're obviously tilting that way. That's a good way to tell. But they'll do all of this, and they'll tell you what kind of shoe you need, and then you can get that kind of shoe. Now, a lot of people have a problem with those kind of stores. They are great stores, but they are a little more expensive. Here's what you do. You go, you talk to them, they tell you what kind of shoes you need, and you look around a little bit and politely say you'll think about it and leave. And you can go to another store and probably pay $20 to $40 less for your shoe. I can tell you, the pain and suffering of knee pain in buying an expensive shoe at a high dollar store, getting rid of that knee pain is worth it. Or buying random shoes, buying this shoe like I've done, buy 10 pairs of shoes, and this one didn't feel good, so this one didn't feel good, so you bought another one. It's all more expensive than getting the right shoe at a good price. Even if you have to pay a little more for one shoe, it's better than buying 10 shoes. Okay, we've talked a little bit about the problem with running shoes. We've talked a little bit about how to tell what running shoe differences there are, and we've talked a little bit about how to tell which running shoe is right for your feet. I think you can all see that this is a big problem, and that if you buy the right shoe for your feet, it can last forever, and so will your knees and ankles and joints, and you can have years of running and exercise to look forward to.